out. All right, Hebrews chapter 11, verse number 6. Now, see, I put this up here so that everybody can read it with me. If you don't have your Bible, that's okay. I've got it here, right here for you. The Bible says in Hebrews 11:6 says this, but without faith or your belief, your conviction, your knowledge of the truth, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God, that's not just salvation. Preachers preach that that's talking about salvation for those who come to God, those who are lost and are coming to him. That's not what the scripture's meaning. It means those who want to get deeper. I need some water. Brother Ben, will you get me a bottle of water out of there, please? What this is talking about is those who want to go deeper in God. Those who want to get closer to God. I guess there's anybody who wants to get closer to God? Or are we all just so tired we want to go home? You know, I mean, I can always preach this online, you know. To get closer to God must believe or must have a belief that God is, that he not just exists, okay? Because Satan believes that God exists. Okay, so this is not talking about that just there is a God, but that God just is. That he is anything and everything he could possibly be. That God just is. And that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. We're going to go to verse 7 here in a minute. But I want to stay right here for just a minute because this is where we're going to concentrate on, because the revelations get ready to come in the next verse, so don't look ahead. If you like to read ahead, don't do that. Because this is where we're going with this. And God woke me up this morning, and when I was doing this, I got so excited because the fact of it is that we, as people of God, our goal is to do what? Is to not get rewards. We talk about, he told me this morning. This is how he corrected me, because there's still religious roots in me, okay? And when I preach, I always preach that when you get closer to God, he's a rewarder, which means what he's going to do is going to reward you with those things in which you're seeking, right? And I preached this before. I preached that on tithes and offerings. And that when you give tithes, he's a rewarder. We talked about this morning. We gave praise reports, right? That we gave first fruits. And look what he rewarded me with. We use that reward in that aspect that we're talking about, how he is this magnificent rewarder. And all of a sudden, it's come down to the point he asked me, why do you truly seek me? And it's not about getting the rewards. But it mentions that he is a rewarder, but it doesn't say what he rewards you with. Okay, there's this thing out there that people have preached this and they believe this and they talk about it, that no man can see God. It says it in John. John was one of the biggest ones that said this. It also says it in Exodus. It says it in Deuteronomy. It says that no man has seen God. But yet, it says that Moses talked to God face to face. Is the Bible contradicting itself? Bible don't contradict itself, does it? But what it says is no man has seen God in his glory. Means no man has ever seen the full aspiration of what God is. Because there's no way that we could ever take in God of all he is. We can see his face. We can feel his heart. Because the Bible also says that which has come from his bosom, that which is there, that because we are also in God, in there. So that has come from that point. Yes, we can see God. Yes, we can see him face to face. He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. Okay, but what does he reward you with? More of God. I mean, let me make sure I say this right. I had to actually take notes from God, what he was giving me. Okay. And you know me, I don't preach from notes. It's really hard for me, okay? that when we seek him, oh, okay, oh, cool, awesome. I'm getting blessed off my own notes. Hey, I'm still drunk. Y'all have to give me a minute. Okay. In the seeking of what God is not because he's a rewarder. What God does, see, this is the whole aspiration we get. And we get tired of it, but God is sitting there, and what he's wanting is to get the closest he possibly can, because what he's trying to do is reveal who he is. Because that which God has hidden belongs to God, but that which God hath revealed belongs to you. And he doesn't reveal it just so that you can take it, but he reveals it so that you can give it. See, because the fact of it is this aspiration. I've heard people preach about it, and they use that one scripture in Joshua. No, one of those names again. Coat of many colors. Joseph, thank you. I'm horrible with names. Joseph in coat of many colors. I've heard people preach about this. And they say, well, you ain't supposed to share everything. That's what put him in the pit. That's what put him over here in prison, because he shared his vision with everybody. No. God knew he was going to share his vision, because he said that's what's going to bring out a good end. So what God reveals to you, because God doesn't want you to be ignorant, what he wants to do is reveal everything, every aspect of where you can be and where you're going for what God has in you. But so what God is trying to do is he's going to reward you. You don't want to know, this is what something else. Oh God, my throat is so sore this morning. I was hollering, thank you. I may not holler as much during the message, I apologize. But I get excited, I can't help myself. Because what he's doing is this. You ready? His purpose in the seeking. You want to know how you know you're seeking God? Because you can't seek him and not come away with something.
That's right.
Because God said, if you seek me, you will find. If you knock, I will open the door. But see, what happened is people have caught seeking, and what they do is seeking means I'm just reading my Bible, and that's me seeking God. And no wonder they walk away with nothing. Because what happens is this aspiration of what we got. People preach, okay, this is where religion comes from, okay? Understand this. People preach what they've already been revealed, but God, when you seek God, he reveals what hasn't been taught yet. But people go to the preaching aspect, and that's where religion comes from, because they're preaching old revelation, and people are eating old revelation, and they stay there in old revelation. Preaching, all preaching does is it keeps you the same. Seeking changes who you are. Because religion comes from an aspect of just hearing preaching and hearing old revelation, eating old meat. That creates a religious experience, because people seek the experience of God and not God himself. This worked one time before, so it's going to work again. So what they do is they don't seek God within the experience. They seek the experience and hope that God will bless. The one thing that God hates is God without God. The knowledge of God, who he is, without God in it. That scares God more than, and that's what's in our churches today, is they're preaching God. I'm not doubting that, but that's what creates the denomination, because people want to stay within their same aspiration of what they know. We teach like we've already know God from A to Z. We preach that we already know him. And people got this, all of a sudden, they think they got this breakthrough in who God is. And they say, okay, great, this is where we're going to preach. And they create a religion off of it. And all of a sudden, they got knowledge of God without God in the knowledge. And they've created this. And all of a sudden, because they think they know all of God. Preachers, if you're sitting underneath a preacher that says, I know all of what God is, I would run. If you know a man that's sitting there, even if it's not your preacher, and he says, don't worry about it, I know all of God. That man don't know God at all. But that's what creates the problem. The seeking of God is the reward of allowing God to be able to open up revelation. Revelation is not this great thing. What revelation is revealing. You understand, let me explain something to you about revelation. This is something that really caught me numerous times. Revelation is not God revealing something new. Because there's nothing new in God. Revelation is God making things naked so that you can see things as they are. Yeah. That's what revealing. They have these things that they reveal things upon the thing. It's always been there. But you couldn't see it until God revealed it to you. We're seeking God, but are we seeking him because we want more of him? Or do we want the knowledge? Do we want the blessings that come with it? That's what seeking does. Without faith, without your belief in what God can do. And see, and the thing about it is we got this thing of God, and this is what it kills me. This is what this new movement that we're getting ready to do, and I'm getting ready to show you here in just a minute because I'm getting ready to build up to it. But what it's saying this is, look at this, without the faith, without our conviction that God just is, and that he's ready to pour himself onto you, without that belief that you don't know God, without that belief that God is just immensible, without that belief that you can change. Look, theory changes our patterns, our formats of God will change. We have a format. We believe that this is the way it's got to be. And when we come into that format, we feel comfortable because this is the way we feel that God has to be. But God, our format will change the closer we get to who God is. I want to make sure I don't miss anything. Okay. Because that's what our belief in God has to change. What I believed yesterday is not necessarily what I believe today. It has to change. Because I don't know all of who God is. Okay, it is impossible to please him without a faithful belief in who God truly is. Cometh to God, whoever must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them who diligently seek him. Now comes to the point to where it totally blessed my socks. Okay? Not just my socks, but it blessed every aspect of me. By faith, by Noah's belief in being warned of God, of those things that not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his household, by that which he condemned the world, and became heir of righteousness, which is by faith. Y'all ready? I hope y'all are ready. Put your seatbelt on because we're getting ready to take off. Noah. When Noah was on the earth, he preached something to people that has never yet been seen. God's getting ready to preach things to this world that has not yet been seen. The religious world, the closer you seek God, the closer you get to God, the religious world will shun you. All of a sudden, you're their target. People say we live in a Moses-type era. We're here to set the captives free. We live in a Moses-type thing. I beg to differ, because the fact of it is that it's been set free. I've been set free. I'm ready to move on. I'm ready to have more self. I'm ready to get deeper in God. It goes beyond the setting free, but we're so focused in on the setting free of things that think, thank God I'm not like that anymore. And yet we don't focus on yet what I can't wait to be that. When Noah was on this earth, what Noah preached was a rain that was coming down from heaven. He's preached something that's about ready to wash you away. And what he did was, it was never heard of on that earth. Because he was getting ready to explore something. And so what he did was, he built an ark for the salvation of his family. It's our job on this earth to preach that which is coming, not the resurrection or the rapture. Thank you. Me and names. Here we go again. Not the rapture. Oh, Jesus. And we got those people on the street who want to do that, right? Jesus is coming. You better get right. He's coming back. He's coming back. It's... Because we always talk about trying to escape things. We think God is an escape. We say that's why we preach that kind of message. That, oh, he's coming back in the clouds. This is the end time. It could be any day now. Saved. Okay. If you're preaching because you want to escape what is coming, if you want to get saved because you want to escape what is coming, okay. I'm just to the point. I'm to the point to where I'm beyond the concept of worrying about whether we're in the end times, about that I've got to escape what is coming rather than controlling what is coming. Noah, by his belief, by what Noah knew, his conviction of what truth was told to him, never been seen before on the face of this earth, never knew about it. The world, the church is at a point to where they preach what they have known. But God, Noah, preached what was yet to come. When Jesus was talking with Nicodemus, he was saying one thing. He said, you don't even believe what is already here, so how can you ever believe that which is coming? So how in the world? We have people, there's things that are happening here on earth that are unbelievable through God. I don't have to understand it. I don't have to knock them down. It's not my responsibility. I don't have to seek angels out. I don't have to seek the blessings of God out. All I have to do is seek God himself and watch the things follow me. They will catch me. They want to catch me because everything, this world is groaning to know the true God, and they want the true God. So if I seek God, they're going to sit there and they're going to say, wow, I can't wait to get to him, because I know where he's going. But see, we're seeking these blessings, and we want to see the gold dust fall from the sky. We want to see the feathers fall. We want to see the angels appear again. If it's become about that, I hope you don't come here anymore. Anyway, by faith, Noah, being warned of God of things that have not yet been seen, was moved with fear, not scared of what things were coming, but fear of admiration of what God is. Because I know that God has given me a way of not just saving myself, but my family. How many people got lost loved ones in here? You want to see them come to God? Stop preaching to them. Huh? You want to tear somebody away from God? Preach to them. Where do we get this? We got to beat people over the head until they either give in. I mean, you want to see your family saved. You want to see your family saved. What he's saying right here is this. He's telling us there are things that are coming. the power of God in the kingdom of what he is, because we have not yet seen all of God in his glory. I preached last week that when the glory comes, we will be revealed with it. Right? Did I not? Who was here last week? Did I not say that last week? That when the glory of God comes, that who we are will appear with him in glory. When the anointing is poured out upon us, then the true us will stand up. I mean, trust me, with a true you, stand up. I knew I got that from somewhere. But it's that moved with fear and prepared an ark of saving his house by that which he was commanded the world, condemn the world, and become heirs to righteousness with it by faith. The only way we're going to please God is by faith. By our belief that God just is. Moses asked to see God in his glory. God said, you can't see me in all my glory. I talk to you face to face. It's like, come here, Sherry. It's like this. It's like this. Come here. This is how God is. This is what he wants to do. She can't see me in all I am if I'm this close. But she can see my heart. She can feel my heartbeat. She can feel my love. Or now she can see my eyes and my face. You see what I'm saying? The closer we get to God, all of a sudden, it's this thing that God says, I'm going to show you my face. Look at this. This is what it says in Moses. He says, look, what I will do, though, for you is I will cover your eyes to a point to where I can show you of me. God walked by in his glory, and God also covered Moses' eyes at the same time. He says, now, look, that's what you can see of me. What he's trying to do is we are starting to build. Why? Because what's going to take place in what we're building is going to take my church family, because that which is coming is going to bless us beyond measure. We're the conduit in which God is building in me. I am the ark. Y'all didn't get that. Try this again. I'll start all over. This is what we are building. Not a ship, an ark. I am working on me, because when I get as close to God as I can, God is going to save everyone that knows me. Because, the fire in which I stand in will burn the things on people that are around me to where they can't help but see the God in me. That's building the ark, because I'm prepared for what is coming. I believe what is coming. Y'all ready for this one? I can't draw an arc. What picture did I do last time? Okay. I guess I might know. Okay, I think I know what you're talking about, but I can't remember the whole thing, so I better not do it because I'll screw it up.
Yeah, his drawing was really kind of weird.
But it's this. That's where I lost my train of thought now. Yeah, I know, but I was on the thing, and then I got distracted talking about us being the ark, talking about what we're getting ready to experience. Okay, I'm there. I'm glad I'm there. It's this. It's this whole thing. We talk about it, and it's not our mind in which we're enemies with. We always say, oh, it's our mind. If we can just get rid of our mind, we can. It's not our mind in which we're enemies with. It's our format in which we do. Because what our belief is not what God is today, but our belief is in what God is going to be. That God just is, and if I can open my mind up to the fact of what God is, I can believe that God is going to bring all this aspiration, all the things that is all the thing that God is to this earth. He is going to rain down something so great on this earth, and that which is kindled already, that which is built already, that which is stable already will weather what God is getting ready to do to this world. As a matter of fact, he's going to use me to do it through. But only for those that believe. Noah would have never believed that which was not seen if it wasn't by his conviction of who God was. His conviction of who God can be. Of his conviction of what God has planned for you. Religion keeps you down because they preach yesterday's revelation. When you seek God, he can't help but open up new to you every day. Every day. If you have not yet got new things from God, you are not seeking him to the point to where you want to seek him, but you are seeking for the results of what God is. This is what he convicted me of this morning. It was we preach all the time about how God is a rewarder. And we focus in on one word and we say he's a rewarder. So diligently seek him because he's going to reward you. So why are you diligently seeking him? Because I know God's going to reward me. But God's going to reward you with more of him. And more of him. More of him. More of him. Did I say more of him?
More.
How many people want that? It blesses me to know that he does nothing without telling his prophets first. This is where this church body, not Passion Ecclesia, is going. Because he's telling the church of something that no one has seen yet on this earth. And the world is rejecting him. So what he is saying is this. He said, I will never flood the earth again, but I'm bringing fire this time. And I'm not talking about he's going to... It's not going to be where all of a sudden everything's going to be burned up.
Well, that's happening.
He's going to literally, spiritually. I had a dream last week. I told it last week. I got to post these messages on Facebook again. I got two or three weeks behind. I had a dream. Anybody ever been to the ocean where you've seen the waves, they roll up, and then when they go back down off the thing, it takes sand with it, and it changes what you've seen of what the sand was changes every time a wave goes up and goes back. You may not be able to see every little time, but trust me, every time a wave goes back out, it takes more sand with it. Draw in the sand. Watch the wave come up. What's it going to do? It's going to take it away. It's going to change the landscape in which it is. I seen that. What I seen, yeah, you were there. You were there in that prayer. That's what it was. I seen that in a vision where the wave of fire rolled over just like a wave would on the shore, and it pulled it back. And when it pulled back, it wasn't burnt, but what it was life was springing up the more it pulled back. Then it went farther the next time and went over the mountains, and when it pulled it back, the life started springing up here, but the life here was even taller and greater back here, and the fire rolled back again, and life just sprung up. And what he's getting ready to do in today's world, what he's getting ready to do, he's getting ready, and that's why we're the ark. That's why we are kindled already. We are knowing that we don't have to worry about God burning us up in order to get us to a point, because I believe that God just is. And whatever he wants to do, he can do. And it's not just because I want the rewards, but what it is I can't wait to get as close as I possibly can with him, because he wants to bless me. Trust me. He wants to pour out on me. He wants me to have all the great things of this earth. I don't want them. What I want is him. Why do we focus so much on the physical aspiration of what God can do for me, when I tell you, when I can get to that point to when I get to God, he will change everything that's in my past. But that's what he's getting ready to do. He's getting ready for us to be the salvation of the church and our families and those people who are ready to build this ark, because we have the faith to believe. I'm ready. When he talked to Moses face to face, he said, I talk to you like a friend face to face. That's how Moses was able to do and write the books he wrote, because he knew God as a friend. We have people here in the church today that can't wait for a new revelation to come down from another man, that don't seek God themselves. Okay, everybody stand up your feet for me, please.